All right, some interesting news with regards Fury Usyk in terms of Team Fury. Now, I had wondered about this for a while, and it does explain a lot of things. Now, a lot of sources are reporting on this. I'm reading this from the Sun.ie. It says Tyson Fury axes his dad John for Alexander Usyk rematch after controversial advice during the first fight. John was responsible for some outrageous corner work in the first fight. This is what it says here. It says Tyson Fury will be without. It does actually say ditch as well on top. Tyson Fury will be without dad John for his do or die rematch with Alexander Usyk. The 59-year-old was responsible for some questionable corner work during the Gypsy King's ill-fated, undisputed straightener with the slick southpaw in May. It says John Fury gave son Tyson some dodgy advice during the clash with Alexander Usyk. John contradicted the advice of head coach Sugar Hill Stewart and assistant Andy Lee. Stewart and Lee will be calling the shots in the rematch, in Tyson's rematch with Usyk on Saturday night. John, who headbutted, and I say that in bold block capital letters, one of Usyk's team. John, who headbutted one of Usyk's team days before the Saudi showdown, reportedly contradicted head coach Sugar Hill Stewart's instructions as he barked orders at his son. And he seemingly paid the price, as Tyson is now opted to have Sugar Hill and his cousin call the shots ahead of Saturday night's Riyadh Rumble. When asked who will corner the, what does that say? White State something warrior, I don't even know what that is, what they're saying here. Stewart said, just myself, Andy and the Cutman. Pretty much that's it. Tyson recently suggested his old man could be absent from his corner by refusing to comment on his presence. He said, I don't know, I don't get involved in all that. I just go to the gym, train, get paid, go home. That's what I've always done. Is there anything else really to add? Tyson, 36, refused to give Team Usyk any idea of his game plan for the second slugfest, as he cut short his open workout just moments after lacing up his gloves. I only seen little snippets of it. You know, he had the big hoodie on. I mean, I bet Tyson Fury, I know people say in Saudi, like, oh, you know, they're well air conditioned. Man, you're still going to be warm underneath. Man, I'd say he was roasting in that hoodie in Saudi. I know Saudi probably won't be as cold this time of year, but I was looking at that thinking, I bet my guy's going to be hot underneath that. But yeah, that's what the Sun.ie are reporting, and yeah, it obviously that's the case. John Fury now out of Team Fury for this fight, and you would imagine win or lose, if Tyson Fury certainly carries on boxing, again, win or lose, you would imagine that may be him very well gone for the foreseeable future. Obviously, it doesn't mean there's any beef between father and son. Of course not. You know, it's not going to happen. I would imagine. It does happen, but I would imagine in this case, it's just as simple as he wants it this way. John isn't in those plans. There you go. I have speculated this may be the case because the fact of the matter is, when Tyson lost to Alexander Usyk, John Fury, and I really did think, following on from the loss, that even in the ring after, I thought John Fury would be absolutely just on another level. He'd be screaming, he'd be shouting, because when Hughie Fury fought Joseph Parker all those years back in Manchester for the WBO title, which was on the line at the time, John Fury in the ring immediately after was shouting, he was screaming, he was swearing, he was saying it was political, it was this, that and the other. He was making a big song and dance of it. And that fight right there, you know, Hughie Fury, in my opinion, didn't win that fight. And, you know, he didn't do anything. But John Fury was making a big song and dance of it. And I thought, well, that's his nephew. He's going to go absolute bat you know what crazy if Tyson doesn't get this decision, especially if it's a close fight or something like that. He's going to go to town, and he didn't. We heard literally nothing from him. We basically heard nothing from him. I remember seeing him, or at least I'm fairly sure I seen him at the Joshua Dubois show. He was sat with Tommy. He was sat miles back, but they're in the kind of VIP area where the good seats are. And Tyson is sat front row, and him and Tommy are sat further back. And I'm kind of thinking, this is a bit strange and unusual. No interviews given by John Fury. It was a bit, you know, it's out of character for him, because he is someone who loves the attention, he loves the limelight, all that stuff. And again, you know, we had the Fury versus Usyk kickoff press conference, which was in London a couple of months ago for this rematch, obviously. And again, you've Team Fury there. I think Andy Lee was there. Sugar Hill was definitely there, but no John. So at that point, you're thinking, okay, something's up here. He's probably not part of Team Fury. The only time John Fury came back to public attention was when he was with Tommy at that Darren Till press conference a couple of weeks ago, where he kicked off and he's been called, all that. So he's still around with Team Fury in terms of Tommy, but with Tyson, he's gone from the team. Now, personally for me, a broken clock is right twice a day. And there have been times in the career of Tyson Fury where John Fury's advice, not even in the corner, but just in general, has benefited him. John Fury, to me, was spot on, and I didn't think he was at the time, was spot on when Fury was trained under Ben Davis and Tyson. And he was saying, one, he's too light and he's not learning anything. He needs to change things up. He went to Sugar Hill Stewart very quickly. I mean, it was about this time in 2019 when he went to Sugar Hill Stewart. And you got to remember, he went to Sugar Hill Stewart late December 2019. He was fighting Deontay Wilder late February 2020. Not a great amount of time. Like February, we're looking at that card in February of next year thinking, when you think about it, it's not that far away. Well, he went in with a brand new trainer, and I think John was maybe somewhat instrumental in that. And he packed on more weight, and he looked brilliant against Deontay Wilder. It was a revelation, and that was John being able to look and say, this isn't right. But then these other times when he's in the corner, as they say in the article there, he's shouting over Sugar Hill Stewart. Sugar Hill Stewart, who is an excellent coach, and I think he's got a lot of bad press not lately, but over the last year. You've had fighters like Ben Whittaker leave him and Lawrence Okolie, people saying he regressed. Listen, Okolie was at a stage in his career where I think, and even prior to him going with Sugar Hill, he was clinching a lot in the last fight he had with Shane McGuigan. It was a terrible fight, bit more entertaining because he dropped the guy a few times, but he was still clinching like hell. And you look at Ben Whittaker. Well, I think since he's left Sugar Hill Stewart, I mean, like, noticeable dip. Quite noticeable. And some would say maybe he will, at the end of the day, Manny Stewart could be regarded as the greatest trainer of all time, but if you gave him a journeyman, he's not going to turn him into a world champion now, is he? So Sugar Hill Stewart, great coach. Absolutely, I think he's fantastic, and I think he's been a very, very good fit for Tyson Fury. I really do. Andy Lee as well. With Tyson, I've always felt, that John Fury has his moments. As I said, a broken clock is right twice a day. But Tyson needs calm. And with Sugar Hill, he's got calming influence. And likewise Andy Lee. Andy Lee is quite a calming guy. You hear him in the corner, he's not really animated. He doesn't really get up and start shouting. Andy Lee is a very, very good boxing brain. And I think these two in the corner, that's perfect. I said it going into the first fight, too many cooks spoil the broth, and you have Sugar Hill looking Tyson dead in the eye, round 10, giving him advice, and then you hear John Fury barking. And how are you as a fighter? Because I think Tyson Fury is a fighter, again, who needs a calm corner. How are you as a fighter when you're sitting there in a fight? And Tyson Fury can say what he wants. He knows it was a competitive fight. He knows he was in trouble in that fight many times in terms of, Usyk having good rounds. You need calm, and you've got your trainer who you're listening to, and then you've got a guy this side barking in your ear, and you're just kind of like, what the hell? I'm in the corner. I need advice here. I need someone to point me in the right direction. He's telling me this. He's telling me this. It's bedlam in the corner, much less in the fight. So I think this is something that was necessary, and it's probably been done long in advance. I'm sure John was probably given his marching orders, as I said, probably well in advance. And as well as that, the behaviour that he did last time around in Saudi Arabia, the headbutt, I mean, that was just, that was ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. And I wonder if the Saudis had a say in it, saying, look, we don't want this. Yeah, we want the big fights. We don't want this. Headbutting the smallest member of the team, Usyk, this, that, you just don't need that. There's a limit. I'm sure maybe they're even saying, you know what, we like a little bit of, a little bit of trash talk. We like a little bit of, you're this, but we don't need that. We don't need it getting physical. We don't need it going to that extent. We don't need that. So I wonder if the Saudis have had a say in it as well. But let me know your thoughts. Good move. Me personally, I think it is. Like I said, John Fury's had his moments where he's given good advice, but few and far between. Not enough to warrant being in Team Fury, I don't think. So let me know your thoughts. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button. I'll talk to you later. I've got some videos planned for later. Peace.